Most people think of heart attacks as a plumbing problem, meaning blocked arteries. But there's another side of the story, and that's the clotting factors in blood. These clotting factors don't just affect your heart. When they're out of balance, they increase your risk of stroke, deep vein thrombosis, peripheral artery disease, and even circulation, so they can affect things like varicose veins. In this video, we'll look at the three key markers: D-dimer, fibrinogen, and creatine kinase, and what they reveal about cardiovascular risk and how to keep them in the healthy range. Let's start with the first one, called D-dimer. D-dimer is a small fragment left behind when your body breaks down clots. Normally it should be very low because you shouldn't be forming and dissolving blood clots all the time. But when D-dimer is elevated, it means your body is constantly fighting microclots, a sign of stress in the vascular system. Short-term rises can follow infection or surgery, but if levels stay high under normal circumstances, it can point towards hidden inflammation, sluggish blood flow, or increase your risk for things like deep vein thrombosis and stroke. High D-dimer can indicate that your veins are under strain, one of the early contributors to varicose veins. Next is fibrinogen, the protein that forms the mesh or scaffolding of a clot. It's essential for healing cuts, but chronically elevated levels makes your blood thicker and more viscous. That thicker blood flow slows down circulation, increases pressure in the legs, which can worsen varicose veins, increase swelling in general. High fibrinogen also drives inflammation, raising the risk of heart attack, stroke, and peripheral artery disease, even if your cholesterol looks normal. Keeping fibrinogen balanced is the key. Enough to clot what you need, but not so much that it blocks the flow of blood. I know a lot of people deal with varicose veins, and they're incredibly common and frustrating. If that's something you've been experiencing and you'd like me to make a more dedicated video on varicose veins, leave a comment below. The feedback from people helps me decide what videos to make next. Creatine kinase, or CK, isn't a clotting factor, but it measures muscle stress, including your heart muscle. Levels rise after intense exercise, which is fine, but if they stay high without obvious reasons, it can indicate vascular or muscular strain. This is often elevated in bodybuilders and people who do a lot of strength training. And that's why I recommend when you're doing a blood test, do not do any heavy lifting in that 24 to 48 hours before the blood test. Otherwise, you can get these falsely elevated levels of CK. Think of it as like an engine light for your cardiovascular system. It's not diagnostic by itself, but elevated levels of CK can indicate there's something going wrong with your cardiovascular system. When we look at these three together, D-dimer, fibrinogen, and CK, we get a real-time picture of the blood flow and vessel health. They tell us how your body is handling the inflammation, pressure, and repair. Combine that with other endothelial markers like ADMA, arginine, citrulline, and you can start to see how issues such as poor circulation, leg swelling, varicose veins share the same roots as heart disease and peripheral artery disease. It's all the one system. So what can you do to keep your blood flowing smoothly? Focus on the basics. Eat an anti-inflammatory whole food diet rich in things like omega-3s, leafy greens. Citrus bioflavonoids can help. There's certain herbs that can also be beneficial. Move regularly. Walking, swimming, resistance training all improve vein tone and muscular health. Also, stay hydrated and maintain a healthy body weight. That helps to reduce pressure in the legs. And you can support endothelial health with things like beetroot, pomegranate, or L-arginine supplements and L-citrulline as well. And if you smoke, quitting dramatically reduces clotting and vein damage risk. Clotting factors tell us far more than whether your blood is thick or thin. They reveal how your heart, arteries, and even leg veins are coping with daily inflammation and stress. And if you'd like to see how these markers fit in with the bigger picture of cardiovascular disease, I recommend watching the full cardio-zoomer test. This is a new test from Vibrant Wellness that does detailed cardiovascular markers, most of them which are not available through your regular doctor's tests. If you have any questions or comments, leave a comment below and I'm happy to answer them.